an approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU.
Banking with people like you, Unico Bank. We put you first in everything we do. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. We're your local hometown bank, your friends and neighbors too. Banking with people like you, Unico Bank.
At Belgrade State Bank, we're proud to support our local students. For over a century, we've been more than just a bank. We're part of the community. By investing in our youth, we help build a brighter future.
They're playing very well against some very good teams. And as you said, they have an opportunity to make some history here.
Glenn, I know you have history broadcasting MAC games, and I don't want to age you. But baseball, this is our first MAC baseball game since we took over MAC broadcasts over the last 4 years. And it's a beautiful facility out here. And they just put in this broadcast booth last season. We call it a high school game here. Haven't done a MAC game, but, man, it is beautiful, and I bet they are feeling that home field advantage.
Well, I'll tell you what. Already I love this press box because of two words, air conditioning. It is going to be a hot one today, and it's a game that we're going to see, maybe a little bit of stamina come into play because both of these teams are going to be playing in some pretty sultry conditions for this time of year. As you know, Missouri weather gets like this from time to time, and right now we're in a heat wave, and that's going to last today, and hopefully both of these teams can stay healthy, and hopefully that won't determine the outcome, but it could quite possibly be a situation here, especially when looking at this Eastern Oklahoma team that's running up and down the field with some black uniforms on. That may kind of increase the heat just a bit for them as well. So hopefully we're looking for some healthy ball players here today. But as you said, a nice facility named after a good friend of mine, and this will age me right here, Hal Lowry, who was just a really good guy and a great baseball coach out here at MAC and did a lot of things for this MAC program. And I'm sure that he's naming this field after him was a great honor for him.
Absolutely, Glenn, as the teams wrap up infield, outfield. These are, a couple of, I guess once you get to this point, it's only decent teams. And Mineral Area College, 41-6, undefeated, 23-0 at home, I should say. Eastern Oklahoma, 29-24, 13-11 in their conference. They were the 3 seed in the Region 2 tournament. MAC was the top seed in the Region 16 tournament. We'll take a break. When we come back, we hear from the head coach of the Mineral Area Cardinals, Blake Jones, after this on AM 1240 KFMO.
in the middle of that, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I know that Howell passed away, but I don't want to.
All right, roll a few minutes of ads. I'll be right back.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
Game one change when there's a doubleheader? You play game one, game two at 3 hours after the start time of game one, or is it in January? Now here we are mid-May. I guess the goal is always to be playing at this point in the year, but what has led to that goal paying off?
A bunch of talented dudes, number one. Offense has been really good all year. Like I said, we battled some injuries here and there, and guys just keep stepping up when they get opportunities. And we're pretty good on the mound. Our bullpen's been really, really good. We feel like if we can get through 5 or 6 out of our starter, we're going to have a really good chance turning over to our pen.
Best of luck today. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, man.
That is the head coach of the Mineral Area Cardinals. That's Blake Jones as his club gets set for a South Central District tournament. I say tournament, but really it's just a series. It's a best-of-3 series. Game 1, first pitch at about 2 o'clock. Game 2 has first pitch at about 5 o'clock is the scheduled start time. And Game 3 will be Friday at noon. And Game 3 is, if necessary, you have to win 2, and you're going to the JUCO World Series, Glenn. And he mentioned that this group had a whole lot of success this year. They've been healthy. I know in this interview, I interviewed him yesterday. That's on our audio vault on the website, kfmosports.com. He really talked about the health of this ball club and how they were able to stay healthy. Well, this is a group that in the last couple of years might have thought they had the team to make a run, but health was a factor, especially for their pitchers. This year they are even more deep pitching-wise, and we've seen it at the high school side several years. When you have depth, pitching, and health, and your pitchers stay healthy, you can be a tough team to beat by this time of the season.
Yeah, that's one thing that people don't actually think about. You know, you see in Major League Baseball, college baseball, you see in any kind of sport, people talk about, well, if this team does this, they will win the division, they will win this many games, they will be, vying for a championship. But health is a very big, important part of what happens in sports, whether it's on the collegiate level, high school level, or in the pros. You got to have healthy guys, because folks who aren't healthy, they wind up, it costs the team some pretty big stats. I mean, you go back to that 2006 St. Louis baseball Cardinal team. That team was really good until everybody got hurt. And then down the stretch, they struggled just to get into the postseason. And once they got into the postseason, they all got healthy again, and they won the World Series. So this team has been healthy, and we hope that stays that way the rest of this year. And when you're healthy, when you've got the weapons, you've got the pitching staff that you have, then a lot of good things can happen, and health has to be a very important part of that, no matter what level you're on.
It is the Kevin Ball Auto Body pregame show. We'll take a break. When we come back, we actually have a reporter's notebook with the radio broadcast, I should say. That's Cam Reed is joining us. He is the radio broadcaster for Eastern Oklahoma. He made the trip up here. We talk with him about their team and what they've seen this year. That's next on the Kevin Ball Auto Body pregame show here on AM 1240 KFMO.
An approach to teaching and learning that connects the traditional classroom to the real world at Central Methodist University. Now you can learn the way you live and the way you'll work with the new Digital U, available only on the campus of CMU.
Banking with people like you, Unico Bank. We put you first in everything we do. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
I think it was 29 and 24, if I'm not mistaken. A team that obviously was the 3 seed in the region tournament. So it wasn't like they had aspirations of getting to this point. But as the 3 seed, they make that quote-unquote Cinderella run, if you will, knocking off the 2 seed, then the 1 seed, and beating Connor State to get here. What did you see from the group in that region tournament, and what really led to the surge that they've been experiencing towards the end of the season?
Yeah, well, the whole season, the Region 2 has been a dogfight. You know, Seminole State 14-11, I think, was their final Region 2 record. Connor State was the 4th seed. I think they were 11-14. So just a little tiny gap between those teams. But you know, Eastern scheduled tough early on. So you know, a lot of losses early on. But that was just to kind of get themselves situated. They're built for a tournament environment. A lot of really good pitchers, a deep staff, and you know, they've done a really good job of getting hot at the right moments.
MAC head coach Blake Jones actually mentioned the pitching staff to me as one of the key spots for Eastern Oklahoma this season. And how have their pitchers handled the, I wouldn't say strain, but the workload that they've experienced this year?
No, they've done their jobs. You know, whenever they're called upon, they're going to step in and do their jobs. Grayson Connell is a guy who, you know, pitched 9 innings in the closeout game against Connor State in the championship. And if you asked him to pitch another 9 that same day, no matter how many pitches, he would have done it. You know, every single one of these guys, they live and die for Eastern, and you know, they're going to fight tooth and nail.
Looking at their record or some of their games this year, and they've won a lot of games with that offensive powerhouse, or if you will, an explosion offensively. But it's the close games that, in some instances, they weren't winning. Are they kind of one of those teams where it's like a Jekyll and Hyde offensively? Maybe they're going to come out and score 15, 16 runs. Maybe they're only going to be held to 3, and it's going to be a tough day. Yeah,
I mean, it goes back and forth for them, and it has all season long. But they're a team, when their bats do get hot, they're really tough to cool off. They're really tough to put a stop to the heat that they've seen. You know, Jack Runzik, who's had himself a tremendous year at shortstop, he's kind of ignited a fire under those bats. And, you know, the top part of the lineup has been setting the table for the middle bats to bring them home. The 8-9 batters have done a good job getting on base. And, you know, it's been a 1-9 effort, but they are a team that once you get hot, they're really tough to extinguish.
I'm looking forward to these two today and possibly a third one on Friday. I have a good call, and maybe we'll talk to you after the game.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
That is Cade Reed. He is the radio broadcaster for Eastern Oklahoma State. The Mountaineers, almost said Mariners. There's not any. There's not a C over there in Eastern Oklahoma. At least I don't think there's a C.
Well, there's no Jazz in Utah either, but you know.
That's true.
Sometimes it just sticks
apparently
with you.
There's Mammoths in
Yep,
Utah.
That's true.
Eastern Oklahoma State, Mineral Area College. That's coming up in about 11 or so minutes here from Hal Lowry Field. We'll take another break on the Kevin Ball Auto Body pregame show, come back and wrap things up on the pregame show and get started here in just a little bit. You're listening to MAC Athletics on the Parkland Sports Leader, KFMO, and KFMO Sports Plus.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
Spencer, who is the DH. So Archambault, Runsick, Graham, Hyde, Herrera, Nolan, Gregory, Venter, Victory, and Spencer is your starting lineup for the Eastern Oklahoma State Mountaineers. All right, for the Mineral Area College Cardinals, they are 41-6 on the year. They will start this afternoon. Cam Lee in center field. He'll lead off. Brad Chasen will be the second baseman. Batting third will be Kelly Robertson Jr., the left fielder. Noah Cassie, the right fielder, will be batting in the cleanup spot. Angelo Franco will be the third baseman. He'll be batting in the number 5 slot. Carson McCaleb is the catcher. He'll be in the number 6 slot. Seventh is Matthew Marsh, the DH. Batting eighth is Caden Merrill, the West County product, over at first base. And Tucker Thompson, the shortstop, will bat ninth for the Mineral Area Cardinals. Again, Lee, Chasen, Robertson Jr., Cassie, Franco, McCaleb, Marsh, Merrill, and Thompson, your batting lineup for the Mineral Area College Cardinals. And taking the field right now are the Cardinals, and they'll have Kelly Robertson Jr. out in left, Cam Lee in center, Noah Casey in right, Angelo Franco at third, Tucker Thompson at short, Brad Chasen at second base, Caden Merrill at first, Carson McCaleb will be behind the plate today. And on the mound for the Mineral Area College Cardinals today will be the pitcher Langford. And Langford, of course, wears the number 19, and his Kai Langford is his name, and he'll be making the start for this Mineral Area College team.
Starting lineups brought to you by Shelter Insurance Agent Chuck Odell at 63 East School Street in Bonne Terre. Allow Chuck to help protect your family with life insurance. Your local Shelter Insurance agents, we're your shield, we're your shelter. That'll wrap things up here on the Kevin Ball Auto Body pregame show. When we come back, it's time for First Pitch for Mineral Area College on KFMO.
Get through it. Nobody knows.
Good afternoon from Hal Lowry Field on the campus of Mineral Area College. Jared Pettis, Glenn Berry, Jewel Boyer, our entire crew as we get set for the South Central District Series Game 1. It's underway as we start this one with the first pitch thrown from Kai Langford in there for a strike. It's 0-1. First pitch time at 1:59. We are ahead of schedule by a minute. It's Kyle Marlar behind home plate. The 0-1 pitch off the plate away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Leading it off for Eastern Oklahoma State, the Mountaineers, that's Jackson Archambault. He'll be followed by Jack Rusnick, then Luke Graham. Glenn Berry gave you the starting lineups in the Kevin Ball Auto Body pregame show. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss to the backstop, and the count's even, the count's no longer even. It's 1-2.
Well, that's one of those names we've talked about this in basketball and football and other sports as well. Around here, that would be an Archambault, but in Eastern Oklahoma, it's an Archambault.
1-2 pitch, and that hits Archambault. He will find his way at first base, and it's a leadoff base runner for Oklahoma State. Check that, Eastern Oklahoma State.
Well, that's not the way you want to start the game. A nice dominating first couple of pitches there by Kai Langford as he hit the outside corner. He came in a little bit too tight, and then he got another pitch that really overmatched the batter. But that pitch just got away from him and caught Archambault on the inside, and now we'll bring up Runsick.
Jack Rusnick, the right-handed hitting shortstop, takes ball 1. Must have missed a little bit outside. Glad to see Kyle Marlar back behind home plate. He, according to Assistant Athletic Director Mike Overman, Marlar got hurt in a high school game earlier this week. The 1-0 pitch, that's off the plate, and in the turf 2-0. And I say turf, it's a natural surface here at Hal Lowry Field, except the dish at home plate and the approachways to the plate from both dugouts. That is all turf. The 2-0, no, instead of check on the runner at first, Archambault dives head first in. He's back in there safely. And that's something they added, I want to say, last year, if I'm not mistaken. That way they were able to get some more high school games played out here, some more home games, especially in some weather. That way they didn't have to really pat around the home plate area. The 2-0 is a strike. Make it 2-1. Rusnick wears jersey number 12. Eastern Oklahoma State, they're the Mountaineers. As Langford works from the stretch, set at the chest. The 2-1, swing and a miss with an off-speed pitch. 2-2, that was beautiful. Had some break to it from Langford on the mound.
That was a nice pitch right there, and like you said, it had a little bit of break to it, and I'm not sure the batter knew exactly where it was headed, and he just couldn't quite catch up to it.
Langford set again. Wind blowing hard from pole to pole. The 2-2. High chopper towards third, but foul. So we'll do it again.
Hey, you look at this field, and this is a very nice non-turf field. As you said, there are some artificial surfaces here, but this is a very, very nice field in itself. And then you look at the softball field, and it's amazing how much they've done in the last few years.
And but they put lights here, too. The 2-2 pitch, inside, ball 3, and the count's full.
That ball just missed, too. They thought maybe it caught the inside corner. You could probably hear some of the MAC fans yelling for that one, but it just stayed inside.
Full count, nobody out, runner at first. He hasn't been in motion yet. Langford set. The payoff pitch to the plate. This one's hit a ton to left center field, way back there to the wall, and it's caught at the wall by the center fielder Cam Lee, who gave chase on that one, and there's one away. That means Archambault has to go back to first, but a long way for Cam Lee to go. Nice, beautiful facility here at Mineral Area College. 330 down the left field line, 375 in left center, 380 to straightaway center, 345 to right center, and 300 down the right field line. First pitch now to the 3 spot. Luke Graham pops it up on the infield. Shortstop behind third base. Tucker Thompson is there. He makes the catch, and there's 2 away. And now it's Jackson Hyde Herrera, the cleanup hitting third baseman.
You go back to that pitch that was hit by the number 2 hitter Runsick, because he hit that ball. It kind of looked like it was going to leave the field right over the Harold Hal Lowry Field sign out there. But a nice play by Cam Lee. And then coming back on the next batter, Kai Langford just kind of challenged the guy inside, Luke Graham, and he popped it straight up.
Langford set, working quickly on the mound. The pitch. Chopper towards short. Third baseman charges in. Franco across the diamond to first, and they get the out. A hit batter. That was Archambault. He's stranded on the base paths. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless, and Mineral Area gets their chance to bat when we come back. You're listening to MAC Athletics, the South Central District Series, Game 1 on KFMO. Back here at Hal Lowry Field, it is the bottom of the first inning. Cam Lee, Brad Chasen, and Kelly Robertson Jr. to start things for Mineral Area. It's center fielder, second baseman, and left fielder. Mac wearing the home white uniforms, the jerseys they implemented in the 100th year of the college, FRJC, across the chest with a black stripe in front of that and blazoned in red and white, and it's FRJC white trimmed in red. The numbers on the back are black trimmed in red on the white jerseys. The first pitch to Cam Lee, a strike on the inside part of the plate. He's behind 0-1. Camden White starts on the mound for Eastern Oklahoma State. Working from the stretch, he gets the sign and holds at the chin. The 0-1 pitch, high chopper towards third, played on the foul line by the third baseman. Long throw across the diamond, and 2 pitches, 1 away. Brad Chasen, now the second baseman, coming to the plate with the bright pink bat. Today for Mineral Area, the Cardinals wearing the black caps with the white forehead, red Cardinal logo, black bill, and the black button on the top of these hats. Eastern Oklahoma in the black uniforms with their Mountaineers logo on the chest of the jersey on the left side of front of the heart as Chasen takes ball 1. And he's ahead in the count 1-0. Number on the lower front and on the back is yellow trimmed in blue. No wording on these jerseys. They go with the white caps with that Mountaineer logo and the black bill. The 1-0 pitch misses, 2 balls, no strikes.
I said earlier that it could be a factor in this game, the fact that these uniforms are black or very dark navy anyway, whatever they are. And, it doesn't affect them early on, but if this stays a really, really hot day today.
That pitch misses, 3 balls, no strikes. You mentioned it, 86 degrees, cloudy skies, sun trying to peek through nearly directly over top now at 208. 12-mile-per-hour winds from right field to left field, from pole to pole. The 3-0, that's strike 1. They get me over strike on the outside part of the plate.
Well, it doesn't make you, lose all of your stamina all of at once, but you sweat a lot more if you're in black than you are in white, and sometimes that takes a lot out of you.
The 3-1 pitch misses, ball 4, and Mineral Area works their first base runner. And now Kelly Robertson Jr. will bat in the 3 spot. Robertson Jr., left fielder today for Mineral Area. This is game 1 of 2. It's a double header today on the Parkland Sports Leader. AM 1240 KFMO, and your home for MAC Athletics, KFMO Sports Plus, online at KFMOsports.com. That pitch looked like a slider or cutter, tailed away from the right-handed batter outside for ball one.
I'm sitting here talking about black uniforms and black, holding the heat and stuff, and I'm noticing you got a black shirt on today.
I do. I almost wore my gray one, couldn't find it. The 1-0 pitch. That's a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Robertson laid off of it. It's called a strike, and the count's even at 1-1. There are one out in the inning. That was Cam Lee's 0-1 ground out to third. And now it's Kelly Robertson Jr. with the 1-1 count. The pitcher set. The pitch. Another cutting slider, if you will, fouled off. Out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Walking down the way, President Joe Gilgore. President of Mineral Area College. Didn't see where he was coming from, but perhaps he was spending some time in the right field party area, if you will. There's a tailgate going on down there for the duration today. The 1-2 pitch. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Could he be just fashionably late?
He could be. There's a lot going on at Mineral Area College today.
Yeah. By the way, I saw him and our old buddy Jeremy Booyer have a bet going here this weekend.
One out in the inning, the 2-2 pitch on the outside part of the plate, and the count's full, 3-2. And I think Camden White, the pitcher, wanted that one. Didn't get the call from home plate umpire Kyle Marler, and the count is full.
Well, Nolan framed it well off the outside corner of the plate there, but he did not fool the home plate umpire.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, yanked to left field, slicing towards the line, and fouled by about a foot. We'll do it again. Boy, Chasen, who was often moving with that pitch, by the time that ball landed in foul ground, he was halfway to third.
Now, that ball may have scored him because, as you said, it was down in the corner and it looked like it was going to fall into no man's land. If it had fallen in fair territory, I think he would have scored from first base because he had such a great jump.
So still a 3-2 count for the 3 spot in the order, Kelly Robertson Jr. White on the mound, set at the ear, the 3-2. High and inside, ball 4, back-to-back walks. Runners at first and second, 1 away. And now it'll be the cleanup hitter, Noah Cassie.
I was quickly going to tell you about Jeremy Booyer and our president, Joe Gilgore. They've got a bet going on in that Kansas City Cardinals series this weekend. If the series goes the Cardinals' way, Mr. Gilgore has to wear a Cardinal jersey and post it on Facebook.
Oh. First pitch to Cassie to straightaway center field, backing up the center fielder. That's Luke Graham. He makes the catch. Tagging from a second over to third is Chasen, and runners will be at the corners with 2 outs, and Angelo Franco, the 5 spot in the order, bats.
Well, he hit the ball pretty good, but kind of off the end of the bat, and at first it kind of looked like Luke Graham might have turned the wrong way, but he corrected himself quickly and got back on that one, got the line drive. Nice job by the runner at second base to tag up Archambault or make that Chasen to scoot on over to third base.
Franco bats with runners at the corners. Slide step to the plate from pitcher Camden White, misses for a ball. White gets the sign. Peers towards home, now checks both runners. The 1-0 pitch, low, 2-0.
I was talking about the president and Jeremy Booyer, the organist for the Blues, the Potosi graduate. Vice versa, if the Royals win that series, then Jeremy has to put on a Royals uniform and put it on Facebook.
Both teams playing well right now. The 2-0. This is a sharp grounder towards second and into the outfield. Nothing that the second baseman could do there. That'll score a run, an RBI single. Now make it a double as he's trying to stretch it to 2. And they're going to wave the runner. That's Robertson Jr. all the way around the bases. It's a 2-run double for Angelo Franco, the third baseman, and 2-0 Mac.
Nice job that time, first of all, by the nice hit, which got right up the middle, a nice hard hit ball up the middle, just past the second baseman. And from the get-go, Franco was not going to stop. He rounded first base as he saw that ball kind of elude the center fielder, Graham, and he just kept on going, and so did the runner at second base all the way around to score, and a 2-0 early lead for Mac.
Carson McCaleb, the left-handed hitting catcher, I should say, bats now in the 6th spot of the Mac order. First pitch to him, high for a ball. It's 1-0. The first hit of the game, that double for Franco, placed perfectly with that sharply hit ground ball. The grass here at Mineral Area College cut so low that it wasn't going to slow anything down. The 1-0 pitch, that missed 2 balls, no strikes. And I say slow anything down. The only grass that would have slowed that down was the outfield grass. It didn't hit the ground until one hop in the dirt heading towards center field. The 2-0. That misses outside. 3 balls, no strikes.
We've seen a lot of fields around the area, most notably Fredericktown, where you hit a ground ball in the infield, and that just kills a ground ball pretty quick because it's so thick, not deep, but just thick. Here, not the case.
3-0 pitch. In the air to center field, slicing away from the center fielder towards left center on the run. That's Graham, and he makes the catch. Mack will strand a runner. Franco at second, but his RBI 2-run double makes it 2-0 Mack through 1. We head to the second. You're listening to Mack Athletics on KFMO.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
For the Mountaineers, number 27, Kane Nolan.
A strike to start the at-bat. We are into the second inning. Kane Nolan bats for Eastern Oklahoma State, and he takes an 0-1 pitch inside for a ball. The count's even at 1-1. It's 2-0 Mineral Area. Jared Pettis, Glenn Berry, Jewel Boyer with you. Inning break brought to you by Missouri Farm Bureau agent Mike Sunsegar on Farmington, Jonathan Steffen in Deloge. Contact them today for a free quote on auto, home business, or life insurance. Swing and a miss, and the count's 1-2. Working from the windup, Kai Langford, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He had Nolan fooled with that off-speed pitch, and there's one away. That is our first strikeout from either side of the game.
That was a nice pitch, too, because, as you said, he was completely fooled. Kind of looked like a fastball coming out of the hands of Langford, and as it got close to the plate, it just curved and moved on him away from the batter, and he could not put anything on it at all.
First pitch now to Jackson Gregory, the right fielder. Grounder towards short, but through the hole and into left field. And the Mountaineers will have their first hit of the game, and it'll be Ruben Venter, the first baseman.
Well, that was a hard hit ball in between short and third. Not much you could do with that. As soon as the ball was hit, it just really scooted right through the infield to the outfield. And as you said, they've got their second runner of the game, the first one coming on a walk, this one on their first hit of the game.
That puts Langford in the stretch where he had success in the top of the first. That pitch missed for a ball, a little bit low to Venter.
I should say the first runner was a hit by pitch. That one, of course, a single.
Langford set at the chest. The 1-0. High and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Venter had to turn away from that one.
That'll wake you up. Pitch like that'll get up inside like that, and that'll get you awake in a hurry.
It sure will. 1 out in the inning. Gregory at first. About a 2.5-step lead. The 2-0 on its way. Misses outside. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, that pitch darn near curved back over the outside corner of the plate. You might have heard a few fans yelling, "Come on, Blue," but that pitch just missed as it tailed back across the corner of the plate just a bit.
Runner back safely on the pickoff move. Perhaps Mack thought he was going to be in motion on that pitch. Jackson Gregory is the runner at first after his single. We're in the second inning, 2-0 Mack. The 3-0 outside. Oh, no, a strike, 3-1. Get me over strike.
Yeah, and I will say that pitch probably wasn't as good as the pitch before it, which everybody thought was a strike, and the umpire called a ball.
3-1 pitch. That's strike 2 on the same spot. Venter was already heading down to first. Count full, and I think that draws some ire from the Eastern Oklahoma faithful and perhaps from their dugout as well. A lot of blue here at Hal Lowry Field. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning for Langford. There's 2 away.
And you're going to get a few more folks yapping about that one after that. That really the first strike, the second strike, those 2 called strikes. The one before that, which was called a ball, kind of came back and caught the outside corner, I thought. Very, very close. A game of inches again here this afternoon, and that's the difference in runners at first and second, and now 2 outs.
And that brings up the 8th spot. Joe Victory takes ball 1 inside. In the top of inning number 2. Runner at first, Gregory gets the lead. 1-0 pitch, outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
This guy goes on to be a coach. He's got a lot of pressure having that name.
Absolutely. Victory. I think I'd pay money to have that last name. Go get it changed, although I like Pettis. The 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Langford pulled the string and fooled Victory. And I will say, Glenn, Victory, that'd be a good middle name. The 2-1 pitch, high and inside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
All kinds of newspaper headlines could come to mind using that last name.
Almost like Right with The Price is Right that everybody. The 3-1, inside, ball 4. First free pass issued by Langford, although he did hit a batter in the first, and now it's the 9 spot, Kyler Spencer.
Well, that was a batter that came into this one, and the first 2 pitches looked like it was going to be a quick at-bat. Even though the second pitch missed, it seemed like it was an opportunity to get a quick at-bat and get it over with, but he couldn't hang on to him. Now runners at first and second, and an RBI chance for Spencer.
First pitch, ooh, inside. Gets the strike zone, 0-1. That looked inside, but it must have found the zone with the cut action or sliding action from Kyle Langford.
I think Spencer has a huge strike zone to begin with, and it may have caught him just at the knees there, inside corner.
The 0-1, swing and a miss, make it 0-2.
I'm not sure how tall he is, but that's what, a 6'3", 6'4", maybe? Standing in from the right side.
I'll confirm that between innings. Can get the number on that. Langford set. The 0-2. Grounded off of Langford. He's going to have to chase this one down. Barehands it, underhands to first, and they make the play. Score at 1-3 for the third out of the second, and 2 runners are left stranded on just 1 hit from Eastern Oklahoma State and a walk in the inning from Langford. It's a 1-1 count. Make it 1-2 to Matthew Marsh, the designated hitter for Mineral Area. He is behind in the count, and it is still Camden White on the hill for Eastern Oklahoma State. Bottom of the second inning, Jared Pettis, Glenn Berry, and Jewel Boyer back in studio. The 2-strike pitch misses outside, and the count's even at 2-2 strikes. The 2-2. High chopper towards first, way off the bag to get that one is the first baseman. Throws to the pitcher covering, and Camden White almost didn't get to the bag, but they get the out 3-1. There's one away.
Yeah, he was kind of doing that, 1960s kind of vaudeville side shuffle there. He was trying to get back to the bag, but the throw was behind him. The first baseman did not lead him at all to that bag, but he threw it behind him, and he did a good job of catching it first and then getting to the bag ahead of the runner.
And now it's Caden Merrill, former West County Bulldog. The first baseman takes strike one at the knees. Mac leads 2-0. They scored those runs in the bottom of inning number one. We're in the bottom of the second. The 0-1 pitch. Called a strike at the knees again, 0-2.
Nice seeing a local guy out here on a Mac field, playing well for the Cardinals this year.
The 0-2 pitch. They are going to appeal down to first, but Merrill held up, so it'll be a 1-2 as that pitch missed low and away. On deck, it's Tucker Thompson, the shortstop. Jared Pettis and Glenn Berry, 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Merrill fooled on that off-speed pitch, and there's one away. Check that, 2 away.
Yeah, that pitch basically came down to a pitch that looked like it was coming out of the pitcher's hand again as kind of an off-speed pitch, but it also had a lot of movement on it towards the end as it tailed away from Merrill, and he just could not catch up to it.
Thompson, the shortstop, bats. He's a right-handed hitter. That strikeout was the first for Camden White, as this pitch is grounded towards short, played on a couple of hops by the shortstop over to first, and the inning is over. Down go the Cardinals, 1-2-3. We head to the third, and Mac leads 2-0 on KFMO.
What if we just leave it alone and then see?
If you want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career, Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
announcing? Who's doing the PA?
Overman.
Oh, sounds like Hewlett down there.
We are in the top of inning number 3, a leadoff single for Jackson Archambault, and now it is Jack Rusnick for the 3rd and 4th, Glenn Berry.
All right, we start off the top half of the 3rd, as you said, with the first pitch lined into right field by Jackson Archambault. Nice play over there by Noah Cassie to get to it and hold him to a single. Now with a 1-0 count, or an 0-1 count on the number 2 hitter, Runsick. He lines it into left field. Here comes the left fielder, Robertson Jr. He'll make the catch on the run. That is the first out of the inning. And a hard hit ball results in out number 1 for this Eastern Oklahoma Mountaineers ball club.
Now, Robertson Jr. had a good read on that one, Glenn. It was hit right at him. Sometimes those are the toughest ones to make. He came in about, 2-3 steps. His hat blew off because of the wind, but he made the catch.
That just makes you look like you're faster when your hat blows off.
Right?
Here's the first pitch to the number 3 hitter, Luke Graham. He got up his first time and popped up to shortstop on the first pitch. He'll take a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. So a line out to left field after a leadoff base hit, 1 down, runner at first. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, outside, ball 2. 2-0 on Graham. Kyle Langford gave up a hit batsman, I guess you could say, in the first inning. A single last inning, a single here. And right now holds on to a 2-0 lead. Here's the next pitch. Swing and foul back. That brings the count to 2-1.
That's a good hack by Graham. And he just missed the pitch, too, in that first inning that he popped up to the shortstop. Now, he was right on it, just underneath it, and it was kind of inside, jammed him a little bit.
We saw the first ball of the game hit by, I think it was Runsick, that just drilled one deep to center. But Cam Lee did a great job of getting to it. Here's a pitch off the inside corner for a ball, 3-1.
That's a good spot to miss. A couple of MAC fans wanted that call. It was awfully close, but I think it was inside as well.
Here comes the 3-1. Runner not moving. That's ball 4. And now with only 1 out, Eastern Oklahoma State has 2 runners on at first and second. And that brings up the number 4 hitter, Jackson Hyde Herrera.
Yeah, that's the second walk issued by Kai Langford. He's been all over the strike zone today. He just missed on that pitch outside. And now the cleanup hitter with 2 on, 1 in scoring position. This situation brought forth itself in that top of the second, if you will, as the Mountaineers had 2 on base, but a ground ball right back off of Langford. He had to get off the mound to field it and make the play into the inning. And that went right off about the middle point of his, what part of the leg is that, Glenn? Femur?
Yeah, I think so.
Not the quad, not the forearm, because it's a leg. I guess that would be the quad, actually.
Home plate umpire just signaled something to us, and I don't know what he was trying to signal. And now the first pitch comes inside and hits Jackson Hyde Herrera, and that'll send another runner on base and load the bases up with only 1 out here in the top half of the 3rd inning. And that's going to bring out Blake Jones to talk it over with his pitcher at this point.
Yeah, I'm wondering if home plate umpire Kyle Marler was signaling to us the mound visits. I don't know if he knows the radio guys or the ones up here in the press box.
Could be. But Jackson Hyde Herrera is making a visit to first base after that hit by pitch. And now with bases loaded, only 1 out, Kane Nolan has an opportunity to do some damage for Eastern Oklahoma State.
And Kane Nolan, the catcher, struck out back in the second. You know, he didn't like the outcome of that one, didn't like strike 2 call, yes, and that is the signal for the mound visits that we were given there from the home plate umpire. 1 out in the inning, bases are loaded.
I'm so used to seeing home plate umpires signal for clock violations and things like that. I was going, what? What do we do here? Bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch on the way. Tails off the outside corner for a ball. Kane Nolan again struck out his first time up. He is in a big spot right here for the Mountaineers. Opportunity to get them on the board at least, maybe take the lead. The 1-0 pitch from Kyle Langford. It's on the way. Line drive, left field, base hit. That's going to score at least 1. Here comes the throw in from left field. It's cut off at third base. Back to second base, safe. And 2 runs have scored in this inning and tied this one up on an RBI single by Kane Nolan.
And Nolan drove that pitch to left field. Nothing that Matt could do there. I thought Kelly Robertson was going to try to cut the runner down at the plate, but he was already going to score. Nice cutoff and a back throw to second. They nearly got Jackson Hyde Herrera out there at second, but he stands there with one out. Runners at first and second for Jackson Gregory.
A 2-2 ball game here, top half of the third inning. With a 2-2 game, the batter is Jackson Gregory. He'll take a ball outside, 1-0, and Kyle Langford's had a little trouble hitting the strike zone here in the latter inning.
Yeah, Mac was looking to get at least 5 innings out of their starter in game 1 of this series. It's a best of 2.
Here comes the next pitch. Half swing, he went around. Strike call and a big strike there for Kyle Langford. 1-1. Gregory singled his first time up. That was the first hit of the game for this Eastern Oklahoma State Mountaineers team. And you heard the broadcaster for the Mountaineers. He said when this offense gets rolling, they're hard to stop. First, next pitch is just low. Ball 2, 2-1. 2-2, top half of the third. Runners at first and second. Still only one out. Langford brings home the pitch. Grounded towards short. Fielded there at short. Up over to second. On to first base. Double play. Nice 6-4-3 for the Mineral Area College Cardinals from Thompson to Chasen over to Merrill. And that'll get them out of a big jam. But the Mountaineers.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
We are headed to the bottom of the third, tied up at 2 apiece. Mac and Eastern Oklahoma State in a pop-up on the first pitch on the infield. It is called for by Jack Runsick, and he'll make the catch. As on the first pitch of the inning, Cam Lee pops it up, and there's one out here in the top half or the bottom half of the third inning. 2-2 ball game. Glenn Berry along with Jared Pettis from Mineral Area College's Hal Lowry Field. That'll bring up number 3, Brad Chasen. He's the second baseman. He reached on a base on balls his last time up and wound up scoring the first run of the game for Mac. Take a pitch outside. So Cam Lee pops out to the shortstop. Chasen has a 1-0 count. And Camden White has himself a new ball game at 2-2. Here comes the next pitch. Inside corner, caught it for a strike, 1-1.
That's a good spot there from Camden White to find that strike zone on the 1-0 pitch. Go back to that top of the third for Kai Langford.
Pitch outside for a ball, 2-1.
And, you know, that inning, or that, rather, that, that top inning could have been a whole lot worse. He was saved by the double play.
Here's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. White grabs it with the glove. He'll run it all the way to first base, and then a short toss to the first baseman, Ruben Ventur. And the put out goes 1-3, and there's 2 down here in the bottom half of the third for the Mac Cardinals. That'll bring to the plate Kelly Robertson Jr. Kelly, he walked himself as well in the first inning and wound up scoring run number 2 for the Mac Cardinals. That came on a 2 RBI double by Angelo Franco. It looked like Mac was in business at that point, but right now we're tied up at 2-2. Next pitch. Swung and foul tipped into the catcher's glove for a strike.
Yeah, this Eastern Oklahoma State, they're not a team that's going to go away once you score early. You're going to have to keep pouring it on. But Camden White on the mound has really settled in.
Next pitch. Just off the outside corner and off the catcher's glove. Rolls away. It's a 1-1 count. A lot of folks out here on this sunny, well, I won't say sunny, I'll say cloudy, but very humid Thursday afternoon. Glad you could join us. Here's the next pitch. Half swing, he went around. That's strike 2. That was kind of in a spot where Robertson didn't know whether to swing or let it go. He tried to hold up, but he had already gone around, and home plate umpire Kyle Marler said, yep, that's strike number 2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch now from Camden White. Swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again.
Good job by Robertson Jr. to stay alive on that pitch. It was a 3-2 count when he worked that walk back in the first inning. Of course, you want to always keep that run going or that rally going for the next batter in line, but you got to start a rally here first. Heavy wind gusts now, Glenn, blowing pole to pole, right field to left field.
Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Camden White struck him out, and that's how the third inning will come to an end. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1, 2, 3, go the Cardinals. We're headed to top.
I missed that.
We are headed to the bottom half, or top half of the fourth inning. Glenn Berry along with Jared Pettis in a 2-2 game and a 1-1 count now. On the leadoff batter for the Eastern Oklahoma State Mountaineers, that's Ruben Ventur. Ventur struck out his first time up. He stands in here in the fourth with a 1-1 count. Next pitch from Langford, swing and a miss. That was a 1-2 pitch, and that means strikeout for Kyle Langford. So a 1-2 pitch to Ventur, and he has struck out for the second time, swinging, and there's one down here in this fourth inning.
And that strikeout is the third for Kyle Langford, the first since the second inning.
Langford will now face Joe Victory. Joe takes a pitch on the inside corner. First time up, Joe walked, but he was left stranded. It wasn't until the third that Eastern Oklahoma State got on the board. Here comes the next pitch. Oh, it hit him on the inside corner of the elbow, And he's going to trot down to first base, but he sold it. I'm not so sure that ball hit him, but it did, and nobody seems to argue. And Victory is down at first.
Now batting number 22, Kyle.
Going to bring up Kyle Spencer. Kyler Spencer hit a ball right back to the pitcher his last time up. Could have possibly driven in a couple of runs there with a single and a walk in the inning. He swings at the first pitch. A good play, though, by the pitcher Langford. Got him over at first base. Otherwise, this might be a little bit of a different score. Spencer 0 for 1. As we said, grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. 0-1 pitch. Inside corner, strike 2. Perfect pitch. 0-2.
Yeah, it was a beautiful spot. Spencer, I don't think, was looking for that fastball that he got and laid off of it. It caught the zone.
The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Pitch inside. Spencer went after it, could not catch up with it, and he goes down on strike. Second time he's made it out here in this game, and that'll bring the top of the lineup back up with Jackson Archambault. This time, though, with the runner at first and 2 outs.
Archambault started that third inning with a single. He'd come around to score back in the third, Glenn, and this is definitely, he was also hitting the first, but he is, as the leadoff hitter, the guy you want to keep off the base the most, I guess. You want to keep them all off base, but usually when that leadoff hitter is getting on.
Bringing it back up to the top of the lineup, he gets a pitch off the outside corner, a strike, as Langford starts him out and gets ahead. As you said, he was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Second inning, started that rally with a single, wound up scoring the first of 2 runs in that inning. Next pitch on the way, line down the third base line, just past the third base coach. Foul, and it makes it 0-2.
How big would it be for Langford to be able to get out of this inning pretty quickly after, I wouldn't say being rocked in the third inning, but getting into some trouble as time is called at home plate. And now Langford has a chance to reset on the mound.
Yeah, that would be great for this MAC ball club, just to kind of keep the momentum from getting away from them, if nothing else. The 0-2 on the way, outside and low, ball 1. Tried to make Archambault go fishing, and he said nothing doing. Next pitch coming home from Langford. Inside, just missed. Ball 2, 2-2.
Now, McCaleb, the catcher, was able to knock that one down after it bobbled off of his glove. Kept it in front, so no advancement of the runner. Victory at first base after being hit by a pitch a couple of batters ago.
A lot of movement on those pitches, too. Here comes the next pitch. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner not going, curveball high and away, and that'll make it a 3-2 count. And so you can pretty much bet that the runner at first, Joe Victory, will take off with this pitch. Here he goes. Ground ball towards third. Fielded over there by Franco. Long throw across the diamond to Merrill, and that's the way the inning comes to an end. So no runs, no hits in the inning, a hit batsman, but the inning did not progress from there.
Banking with people like you, Unico Bank. We put you first in everything we do. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. We're your local hometown bank, your friends and neighbors too. Banking with people like you, Unico Bank.
Back here for the bottom half of the fourth inning, and the first ball is grounded down to third base line, and Jackson Hyde Herrera let it get between his legs into the outfield. That looks like an E5, and the leadoff runner is on for Mineral Area.
That's exactly what that is, Glenn. Cassie grounded it to him, and he came up on it. Hyde Herrera did at third base, right between his legs. He was down on it, but came up expecting a hop. That'll be an error every day. And Mac has their first base runner since the first inning.
And Angelo Franco, who has the big 2 RBI double back in that first inning that put Mac on top 2-0, stands in from the right side. He doubled on a 2-0 count, and a ball that was hit just past the pitcher, in between the pitcher and second baseman, but just hop, skipped, and jumped into the outfield quickly. Next pitch. Ooh, don't know where that one was. Pitcher wants to know too, but it's 2-0.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. Kyle Marler, the home plate umpire, didn't find his strike zone, but it looked awfully good from up here in the broadcast booth.
So much movement around there with the catcher and everybody else. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes where that ball goes over the plate or not. We see it where it winds up in the catcher's glove, but sometimes the umpire sees it go across or miss the plate. Not sure where that one was, but now a 2-1 count with a runner on first. Here's White's pitch. It's popped up into center field. Coming in is Luke Graham. He's underneath it. Looks like he's got a beat on it, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Carson McCaleb, the catcher. He lined out to left field his first time up. Pretty good line drive to the outfield, but just allowed out. Otherwise, Mac might have had a third run on the board. He'll stand in with the runner at first and one down. McCaleb, the lefty, waiting. Here comes the pitch. Inside, nice stop by Kane Nolan as that ball just about got past him to the backstop. Not a ton of room back here, but if the ball hits in the right spot, it'll skip up into the corner of the backstop there, and the runner can't advance. Nothing like the old Wilson Rozier days where you could run for a couple of days. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, I remember playing there as a high schooler. You'd get odd hops off that wall back there, the not cinder block, but it was brick. Oftentimes it'd hop into the dugout.
There's a 1-1 grounded in the hole between second and first. It's a base hit. Runner is going to round second, and he'll hold up there as he comes back on a single to right field by Carson McCaleb, and Mac is in business with runners at first and second, only one out.
And perhaps maybe this starts something for Mac as McCaleb, sharp hit grounder, Archambault at second, who was in double play depth. Had he been normal depth, would have made that play, but couldn't get to it. So life for Mineral Area, 1 out and 2 on.
I don't know if he was actually headed towards second or where he was, but he seemed to be not playing a lefty in the right spot, at least for my liking anyway. Here's the first pitch to another lefty, Matthew Marsh. It's a swing and a miss, 0-1. Marsh grounded out his first time up to the first baseman on an acrobatic play by the pitcher as well, Camden White. But he kind of felt like he was playing up the middle to me as a pitch gets down in the dirt. Ball 1-1. And Archambault could not get to that ball. He's kind of a tall guy, not a short guy. He's pretty good size over there at second. He just could not get to that ball. And with 1 out, runners at first and second, a 1-1 count on Marsh. Here it comes. Swinging a foul back, 1-2.
Camden White on the mound for the Mountaineers. 22 pitches in the first, 10 in the second, 10 in the third. That was pitch number 11 here of the fourth inning. And Mineral Area needs some runs late in this game, as I guess middle portions of this game.
Here's the next pitch, grounded towards first. It's a fair ball. Nice play over there by the first baseman, Ventura, but he'll get the out at first, and everybody will move up to second and third. So a ball hit right down the line, barely hugging the line. Great play over there by Ruben Ventura to get to it, get his composure, and get back onto the bag to keep that run from scoring. And now with second and third and 2 out, that'll bring to the plate Caden Merrill.
Merrill in a big spot with first base open, 2 on. Talk about that play by Venter over there at first. That's definitely saved a run. Took it off the shoelaces, reaching down. Made the play.
First pitch is an off-speed pitch. It catches the inside corner. Merrill had already bailed out, and it cut across the inside corner of the plate for strike one. Now, that's a tough play just to get to it, but to right yourself and get back to the bag before the runner does. Next pitch outside, 1-1.
Good take by Merrill to lay off of that pitch on the outside part. You know, it was an off-speed pitch that got him in that second inning. Let's see if they pull the string again.
1-1 pitch. Headed home from White to Merrill. High pitch. Outside, ball 2.
Instead, the fastball couldn't find the zone. And if you're Merrill, what do you look for in this spot ahead in the count?
Runners at second and third. 2 down. Pitch to Merrill on the way. Caught the outside corner again. Strike 2. Merrill is kind of in an open batting stance. And right before the pitch gets there, he kind of takes a little bit of a step towards third base, which is not the most ideal situation. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, you struck him out. And Caden Merrill strikes out for the second time in the game. Mack has a couple of runners on, a hit in the inning. An error puts runners on, but nobody comes around to score. No runs.
Come see us after the game.
Banking with people like you, Unico Bank. We put you first in everything we do. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. We're your local hometown bank, your friends and neighbors too. Banking with people like you, Unico Bank.
We're back here for inning number 5. 2-2 the score. Jared Pettis, Glenn Berry, and Jewel Boyer back in studio. First pitch to Jack Rusnick. Outside, he kind of offered at it but held up. He did not go. It's a 1-0 count. Rusnick, the shortstop, 0 for 2 today. Fly out to center and left. The 1-0 pitch. This one in the air to left center field. Underneath it, Robertson Jr., and he makes the catch about 10 feet in front of the warning track. There is one away. We're in the 5th inning. It's Rusnick, Luke Graham, then Jackson Hyde Herrera. Graham is 0 for 1. He popped out to short in the first, was walked in the third, came around to score as part of a 2-run single from Kane Nolan, who is in the hole now with Hyde Herrera on deck and Graham batting. It is still Kai Langford on the mound for the Cardinals, as that first pitch is on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1.
Langford's done a good job of coming back after that rough inning. He's come back out and set him down pretty much each inning, getting a big double play, of course, to end the inning in which they tied it up.
The 0-1 missed. It's now 1-1. Langford working quickly from the wind. The pitch fouled off at the plate, and it's 1-2. Inning break brought to you by Missouri Farm Bureau agent Mike Sonsiger on Farmington, Jonathan Steffen in Deloge. Contact them today for a free quote on auto, home, business, or life insurance. The 1-2 pitch inside, called strike 3. Luke Graham sat down looking, and that strikeout is the 5th for Kai Langford. 2 outs here in inning number 5.
That was a nice job, too, by Langford to paint the outside corner. That batter at that point, Graham, had just given up on that pitch, and it caught the outside corner, and he's sitting down right now.
That'll bring up Jackson Hyde Herrera, the third baseman who was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance, takes ball 1 outside. Windy day, wind blowing right field pole to left field pole. You can tell by the center field flags waving in that direction, the 1-0 pitch. And that, again, hits Hyde Herrera, the fourth hit batter, I should say, from Kai Langford in this game. He's hit 1 in the first, hit 2 in the third, or rather hit 1 in the third and 1 in the fourth.
Well, you don't want to give free passes, especially when you got a guy like Kane Nolan on deck, who's already had a big 2 RBI single in this game. He struck out his first time up, but that second time he laced a single into left field that scored 2 runs easily. And free passes like that, whether it's hit by pitch or base on balls, errors, any of that, that can spell some problems for you.
First pitch to Nolan. He takes ball 1 below the knees and a little bit inside. He struck out in the second, but made that adjustment in the third with a single to left field that scored 2. Short lead at first, the 1-0 outside, but gets the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off-speed pitch, crossed over the plate, and Langford evens up the count. Now he comes set with the 1-1 and brings it home. That is inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. And I think Nolan, the catcher for Eastern Oklahoma State, kind of bending the knee to maybe get that knee a little bit closer to that ball, trying to wear one and reach base.
That pitch has kind of got away from Langford a couple of times inside.
2-1 pitch, misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck, Jackson Gregory. He singled back in the second. He'll bat barring an out. There are 2 away here in the top of inning number 5, tied up 2-2. Max scored first in the first as that pitch is swung at and missed, and the count's full, 3-2. It was the top of the 3rd inning where Eastern Oklahoma State, the Mountaineers, answered the Mac Cardinals. We haven't had any scoring other than the bottom of the 1st and top of the 3rd. 2 outs, runner will be moving. The pitch, swing and a miss. Nolan strikes out, swinging the 6th strikeout for Kai Langford. And that sends us to the bottom of inning number 5. We are still tied up 2-2.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
Hey, Jewel, you can just text me, but bottom of the 5th inning, 9-1-2 up for MAC. We're tied up 2-2. It's the South Central District Series, game number 1 of 2 today. It's a best-of-3 series. Game 3 would be Friday at noon. Thompson takes strike one. It's Tucker Thompson, the shortstop, 0 for 1 today. Then Cam Lee and Brad Chason. As after him, back to the top of the order. High chopper towards third, played in fair territory by the third baseman Hyde Herrera, who played that one perfectly. Fires to first and gets the out.
I tell you what, when he first fielded that ball, I thought that might have been a mistake. But he came in and played it perfectly, as you said, and got a strong throw across the across the diamond to the first base bag and turned that little ground ball into an out.
Had he waited any longer than he did, that would have been a foul ball.
Yeah.
It's still Camden White on the hill for Eastern Oklahoma State. The first pitch now to the top spot of the order. Cam Lee is fouled off to the backstop. 0-1.
And I was also thinking when the ball was hit, that it was hit so slowly down the third base line that he may want to let it go foul because the runner might outrun the throw to first. But no, he did it perfectly and got him at first by a large margin.
The 0-1 pitch misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lee, a right-handed hitting center fielder, has the high socks on today, the stirrups. White underneath, then the stirrup sock that is red with the black, double black stripe. Check that, triple black stripe. Emblazoned in white across the shins. The 1-1 misses inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. He grounded out in the first and popped out to the shortstop in the third. Lee officially 0 for 2 today. On deck, Brad Chason. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, the 2-1. This one's knuckled to center field, and that'll drop for a 1-out single from the leadoff hitter, Cam Lee.
Nice little job of just taking the ball the opposite field. He had to fight it off, kind of hit it off the inside handle of the bat, but got it up and over Jackson Archambault's head, and that's a runner for Mac, and that's what they need.
And it'll be Brad Chason, the second baseman, who walked and scored back in the first. Still a tie game, 2-2. Mac hasn't had much going since that first inning, although they did have 2 in scoring position in the 4th. Chason takes strike 1 on the inner half.
Boy, he gave up on that pitch completely. Thought it was going to hit him, actually, and you could see him kind of brace himself, and that ball just broke right across the inside corner of the plate for a strike.
He's using the bright pink bat. Check on the runner back at first. A high throw. Leaping was the first baseman, Ruben Venter, and diving back in safely was Cam Lee. At the plate, Chason going with the red compression sleeve on his right arm. He's got a white elbow protector and a white shin protector on his left foot and left arm. The 0-1. Another strike on the inside part of the plate, 0-2. And it's what looks like a cutter because it, from my opinion, is maybe a little bit too fast thrown to be a slider. But that's back-to-back times that White has thrown it to Chason and found the strike zone on the inside part of the plate. 1 out, an 0-2 count. Check on the runner at first. That one's close. Diving back safely was Cam Lee.
First time that they threw over to first, Cam Lee got up and looked at his first base coach because first baseman and everybody was trying to act like that ball got into the corner, and he started looking around like, where did it go? Where did it go? But luckily listened to his first base coach instead.
The 0-2, no, another look at the runner at first, and Lee back in safely. Venter had to come off the line to get that one or come off the bag towards home plate as that pickoff throw was, again, nearly to foul ground. 0-2 count at the plate. The pitch, this one's popped up to center field. Charging in Graham, the center fielder, going back out to shortstop, and nobody catches it, but they might have a play at second. Nobody was covering at first, then they get the throw, and that saves the error, Glenn. That would have been, oh, wait a minute. They're going to call him safe. The runner will be safe at second base. It was a close play, so there will be an error now, and out comes the head coach for Eastern Oklahoma to talk this one over. And I don't know what had happened. They put the tag on the bag before Lee had slid in, so that would have saved the error. If he's in there safely, this is going to be E8 because that went off the glove of Luke Graham after the shortstop, Jack Rusnick, let it go. And so there will be a runner on. Chason reaches on the error, and Lee is in there safely. So only 1 out.
And I'm not sure where the error came from because it looked like from our advantage point because that was a force out at second base with the ball hitting the ground. All I had to do was get it there before.
Sharply hit grounder towards third, dive, and Herrera couldn't come up with it. Scoring from second is Lee. Runners go to third, and it's a triple. I was looking around for Chasen, and he was actually out. So there are 2 outs in the inning. But Kelly Robertson Jr. has himself a triple and an RBI.
Well, now I'm totally confused because I'm sitting here trying to explain that last play, and I don't know exactly what it was, but we do see the runner come around to score on that triple, and a great placement of the ball down the third base line as it just rolled right down the line, just over the bag and into the corner, and then kind of rolled around down in that corner just a bit before Joe Victory could get to it. And now the umpires are talking, and they were pointing at the scoreboard. And I don't know if they're saying there's only one out. I'm totally confused here.
But there was only one runner on base. Well, all I can assume is that there was an infield fly, as this one is fouled and out of play for strike one.
And I think they're still saying there's only one out because when you look over on that pitch when it was popped up, the runner went back to third to tag up just in case. So I'm not sure where that extra runner wound up going to.
Chasen was not at first, or rather he was batting. What? Now he's at third. So is this Kelly Robertson Jr. batting? It is.
Yep.
I'm perplexed, Glenn. Cam Lee singled. Brad Chasen, who is the runner at third now. So there is only one out.
You know what I think just happened here, and I think I'm going to go back and talk about it here in just a second as the ball is in the dirt. I think what happened is I think the second base umpire called a balk on the pitch that was popped up in the center field. So that means there is only one out. And that's what the umpires are holding up their fingers out there to try to let people know. Because I saw him lift his leg for a second. Here's the line drive.
This one goes to left field, and that'll drop. So Mack will score twice, and you are correct. It was a balk that was called. And now Kelly Robertson Jr. will have himself an RBI double after Brad Chasen's triple. And it's now a 4-2 game.
And that makes so much more sense than what we were trying to figure out here. But, I think that's why I saw the umpire. He said he lifted his leg, and I thought, well, what's that got to do with the play at second? So what they did is they put the runner back at second base that we thought would have been out at second because of the throw back into the field, but that whole play didn't count. And then the triple scored that runner from second base. Now the base hit scores that runner from third, and Mack has a 4-2 lead. Hey.
It's one out in the inning as we have a runner at second base, and Noah Cassie bats, and he takes strike one. So an 0-1 count to Cassie, the right fielder, and make it 0-2 as he takes strike two. Jared Pettis-Glenberry, we just got confirmation from a player from Mineral Area College who had to come up here and correct the scoreboard as the 0-2 pitch is on its way. Low for a ball, 1-2. And yes, a balk was called. Actually got a text up here to the booth as well from Brandon Hubbard, who sent the text, as well as Jared Faulkner, who's below us working the MAC TV broadcast, working the camera. The 0-2. Check that 1-2 high, and the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check that 3 balls, 2 strikes. My apologies.
And for us to, to figure that out, we don't have anybody telling us exactly what's happening. All I knew was that the way the umpire acted by raising his leg off the ground.
That pitch misses inside, ball 4. And so the runners will be at first and second for the third baseman, Angelo Franco, who's already had a 2-run double in this game.
So this could be a very, very big inning for Mac as now time is called as Oklahoma State wants to talk about this situation. Their coach is going to come out and talk things over. So if you're as confused as I am, and I am very confused up until a point, with a runner on first base, a ball was hit into center field, and it fell between the center fielder and the shortstop. And we thought, okay, that's an error, but they'll get the guy at second base and it'll be an out anyway. But what the umpire at second base had done is called balk on the pitcher. So that meant that play did not count at all. So the runner who would have been out at second base was actually allowed to go back to first, and because of the balk, was able to take second base. So he's on second. Then Chason hits the triple into the corner, which scores him. Robertson singles him home. Cassie is now walking over to first base. So now runners at first and second, and there's only one out, 2 runs in, and Camden White stays into the ballgame after the coach comes out and talks over a little strategy with him. And now he's got to deal with Angelo Franco, who already has 2 RBIs in this game.
And based on how everybody reacted on that balk call, I don't think the umpire was audibly as loud as he should have been on that balk call, because he still had that runner in Lee trying to advance to second after the drop pop fly. Here's one popped up in foul ground. First baseman over and makes the catch. Franco retired on 1 pitch, and there's 2 away.
And the only reason that we have any idea that there was a balk before Brandon Hubbard sent us the text is the motion of the second base umpire, who was standing with his hands in front of him, and he picked up his leg. And I thought, is he saying he didn't touch the bag? Is he saying? And then I thought, no, I think that interprets to mean that was a balk before that play even happened. So now we're caught up. Scoreboard is caught up, and Mac has a 2-run lead.
Carson McCaleb, the catcher, bats. He takes ball 1 inside. McCaleb is the catcher. He singled in the 4th to right field on a ground ball. At second, it's Kelly Robertson Jr., an RBI double. At first, Noah Cassie, who walked. The 1-0 pitch on its way. Low and inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Camden White came into this inning with 59 pitches, threw 17 in the 4th. He's behind in the count 2-0 now to the 7th batter of the inning. There are 2 outs, there's 2 on.
This could be a big hit right here. If McCaleb could come through, he could drive in at least 1 more run.
Pitch on its way. Check swing. They appeal down, and the third base umpire says he went around, much to the chagrin of a couple of MAC fans sitting behind home plate.
Yeah, somebody down there below not real happy about that, making a lot of noise on that one. It's kind of hard to tell from our vantage point if he did go around, but the only opinion that counts is that umpire.
2-1 pitch, a strike on the outside part of the plate, and the count's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Deuces Wild, 2 on and 2 out.
You get the catcher here, McCaleb, with Marsh on deck. If you can get another run or 2 home here, that would be big for Mac.
The 2-2, runners go. It's outside for a ball. Throw to third, not in time. And the runner at first stayed put. Kelly Robertson Jr. swipes third base. The first stolen base from either side in this game, and it's a 3-2 count.
Trying to force a little issue there. I think trying to see if you can get an errant throw from the catcher, maybe get that other run home, but a nice jump that time by Robertson, and he stole that base fairly easily.
Runners now at the corners. The payoff pitch. Runner goes for second, swing, and a miss. McCaleb strikes out, the 4th batter to strike out by Camden White, and we head to the 6th inning. But Mac scores 2.
Come see us after the game.
Banking with people like you, Unico Bank. We put you first in everything we do. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. We're your local hometown bank, your friends and neighbors too. Banking with people like you. Unico Bank.
It is the top of inning number 6, and we have a new pitcher on the mound for Mineral Area. No longer is it Kai Langford. It is now Cole Murray. He's another right-handed pitcher, and the first pitch he throws is taken high for a ball. 1-0, it's Jackson Gregory, Ruben Vinter, and Joe Victory due up for Eastern Oklahoma State in this inning. A 1-0 count to Gregory. The next one on its way. That's lifted in the air to right field. Charging in, the right fielder, Noah Cassie, settles underneath it and makes the catch. One away.
That ball right there was a little tougher than you think. Hit to the outfield because the way the wind's been blowing today, mostly from right to left, that just kept sucking the ball back towards the infield. But Cassie did a good job getting under it, making the play.
The final line score for Kai Langford, 5 innings, 2 runs, 3 hits, walked 2 and hit 4 as the first pitch is outside for a ball. 6 strikeouts in the game for Langford. He really found his rhythm after that long third inning. He threw 76 pitches, the 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. And now it's Cole Murray's turn to come in relief here in the 6th. The 1-0. And that hits Vinter. 5 batters hit today by Mineral Area pitchers. And it's Joe Victory's turn, the left fielder.
I'll tell you what, one of the fans down below yelling about leaning in, but some of these pitchers are just getting away from both pitchers this afternoon from Mineral Area College, trying to throw that pitch that breaks across the inside corner of the plate, and they're just getting it a little too close inside.
It's a 4-2 score. Mineral Area leads. As the first pitch was called a strike. The 0-1 fouled off. 0-2. Joe Victory walked in the second, was hit in the fourth. Has yet to register an at-bat. Working from the stretch. Murray set at the letters. The 0-2, low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cole Murray wears jersey number 15 for the Cardinals. As he is set. The 1-2. Grounder towards short. This could be 2, and it's between the legs of the shortstop, Tucker Thompson. And rounding second, heading to third is Vinter. It gets all the way to the wall. He's going to score. Rounding second now is the batter Victory. He will slide in safely to third, and that'll be a 3-bag error by the shortstop, Tucker Thompson.
Wow, that is a big turnaround in a play right there. That ball looked like it could possibly be a double play, hit right to the shortstop, but instead it goes through the wickets of Tucker Thompson. And the left fielder, Kelly Robertson Jr., was kind of already given the idea that Thompson would make that play, and he kind of just pulled up. The ball just kept skipping, and he had to run it down as it got between him and the center fielder, Cam Lee. And that run comes all the way around to score, and the tying run now stands 90 feet away down at third base.
And a meeting at the mound with 1 out in the inning and a runner at third as the pitching coach comes out. And the meeting adjourned already. Score is 4-3. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. It's Kyler Spencer's turn. He grounded 1 off of Kai Langford, but Langford made the play in the third. I checked that in the second. And then in the fourth, Spencer struck out on 3 pitches. Takes ball 1 high. And it's 1-0. Glenn, I told you I'd get you confirmation on the height there of Kyler Spencer. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. A heavy hack, but Spencer behind the fastball. It counts even at a ball and a strike.
And you found?
Well, on the roster, they don't have heights or weights.
Oh, wow.
Just class and position. So I can't confirm that for you. I'm sorry. The 1-1. A strike on the inside part of the plate. 1-2.
Well, let's just yell down and see how tall the home plate umpire is. Ask him. And then we can add a couple inches. He's about, I don't know, maybe about a head higher than the home plate umpire, Marlar. And now time is called as they're going to talk it over with Kyler Spencer.
Kyler Spencer, according to the athletics page for Eastern Oklahoma, is 6'6", 245. A redshirt freshman, so he'll be back next year, whether that be with Eastern Oklahoma or with another ball club. It is a 1-2 count with 1 out, a runner at third base.
This could be a big out right here. If you can get Spencer, get to the top of the lineup, you got an opportunity to get out of this inning with no further damage.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Spencer strikes out for the second time today, and that strikeout is the first for Cole Murray. 2 away.
That could be a big strikeout right there. Second time, as you said, that Spencer has struck out. But now if he can come back and get Jackson Archambault, the second baseman and the leadoff hitter, then he has an opportunity to take the lead into the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Back to the top of the order for Archambault. 1 for 2 today, a single and a run scored. He takes ball 1 high. Kyler Spencer, the tallest player on the Eastern Oklahoma roster. The 1-0 pitch misses inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Kind of makes you wonder if they want much to do with Jackson Archambault. He's been hit by a pitch, singled, and grounded out sharply to third.
The 2-0, this one slapped to right field, but slices foul, and it's going to be 2-1, and that just results in a long strike number 1. Didn't have the home run distance, but definitely would have been extra bases and would have tied this game up. Again, if you're just with us, 330 down the left field line, 375 in the left field power alley, 380 to straightaway center field, 345 to right field power alley, that's right center. As the 2-1 misses, it's 3-1. And 300 down the right field line. That's the distance from home plate to the outfield walls, the 3-1. That's a strike at the knees, and the count's full 3-2. Jackson Archambault didn't necessarily like that call as he was headed towards the dugout.
I think you come back with something pretty much the same spot. If he misses it, then you got a runner at first.
3-2, that one's fouled off at the plate. We'll do it again. That went off the shin of Archambault. He wears jersey number 8. And the player who wears jersey number 9, Joe Victory, is at third base. Set Murray, the 3-2. Lifted in the air. Left field, backing up the shortstop Thompson. Left fielder coming in. A long way to go for Kelly Robertson Jr. to make the play, but he does. We head to the bottom of inning number 6. 1 run, no hits, 1 error for Eastern Oklahoma State. The error.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
27, Matthew Marsh.
Bottom of inning number 6, Matthew Marsh, Caden Merrill, and Tucker Thompson all due up in this inning. It's 7-8-9 for Mineral Area. They're up 4-3. Jared Pettis, Glenn Berry, and Jewel Booyer back in studio. Marsh is 0 for 3 today. 2 groundouts to the first baseman. Mac up by a run, looking for some insurance the later we go in this game. Marsh, a left-handed hitter, up against the right-handed pitcher, still Camden White. And the first pitch is a strike to Marsh, 0-1. And it's still Camden White on the mound. This is his 6th inning of work. 82 pitches coming into the inning. That was his 83rd, the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's actually pitched better than the 4 runs given up here. Obviously, that odd play out at second base, which confused everybody, kind of opened the floodgates with the triple and then the single after that. But he's pitched a pretty good game here. He's kept his team in it.
1-1 pitch, just a little bit outside, maybe low as well, 2-1. 4-3, Cards lead. The 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Well, this would be a big opportunity here, I think, for Matthew Marsh. If he can coax a walk or get on base somehow, bottom of the lineup, kind of making things turn back over again to the top of the lineup, giving Mac a chance to add some more runs into this.
The 3-2 pitch. High and outside, ball 4.
That's what you want to see from your number 7 hitter. Somebody who's not swinging the bat really that comfortably today. 0 for 2 his first 2 times up. Gets a base on balls. Now it brings Caden Merrill in here. He struck out twice, and he would like to redeem himself, I'm sure, in this situation.
First pitch to Merrill takes strike 1 at the knees. An 0-1 count. That walk was the 4th issued by Camden White. He allowed 2 free passes in the first and 1 in the 5th. Now that 1 here in the 6th. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 is 4. Merrill, check swing. They appeal down to the first base umpire, and he says he went around 0-2.
Well, Merrill's still got that little bit of a hitch where he's kind of backing out on every pitch, and what's happening is I think White sees that and is going with a lot of stuff away that he just can't reach.
The 0-2, that one's on the inside part of the plate. Merrill sat down looking. He has struck out 3 times today and is the 5th strikeout for Camden White. 1 away.
Merrill didn't like that call, but it looked like it was right down the middle. And again, you kind of see that left foot stepping in the hole back towards third base. The old days, they would call that stepping in the bucket, and that's something they would try to correct. But these days, you just never know. Sometimes it's a little bit of a trigger.
First pitch, Thompson fouls it off to the backstop, 0-1. This bottom of the lineup has struggled against Camden White. I think they'd be happy to see him exit the game. And there is an arm throwing down behind the first base dugout. In the first base bullpen, the 0-1 pitch is a strike at the knees, 0-2. Of course, the 7-8-9 batters have combined to go 0 for 7, with Marsh reaching in this inning on a walk. Thompson has grounded out twice, 1 to short, 1 to third. The 0-2 inside, misses, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Kind of like to see, I would think anyway, if I were Tucker Thompson, when this at-bat started, would be looking for an opportunity to maybe lay down a bunt down the third base line, because you got Jackson Hyde Herrera kind of back on his heels over there.
The 1-2. This one's popped up right field side, but slicing foul and out of play. And we'll do the 1-2 count again.
It's one of the things I've really liked about watching Victor Scott play this year for the Cardinals, is when he seems like he's starting to get into a bit of a slump, he may lay down a perfect bunt down the third base line. They were talking about him learning how to do it down the first base line to make it even better, but that's a big, effective weapon.
1-2, foul out of play again. We keep the 1-2 count. At first base, Matthew Marsh. Folks, if you're listening and would like to come to the game, you You can listen on the KFMO app or online at kfmosports.com and kfmo.com/plus. It's free to get in, no charge. They have food in right field. And a heavy gathering behind home plate and in right field as well. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Thompson strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for White. He's got 6 of those, and there's 2 away. Back to the top of the order, and it's Cam Lee. He singled and scored in the 5th.
Well, this is an opportunity now to get to the top of the lineup. If Cam Lee can keep this thing going, kind of move the line along and get Brad Chasen up there, who had a big RBI triple his last time up.
2 outs here on the bottom of inning number 6, 4-3. Mac leads. The first pitch is outside for a ball to Cam Lee, and he's ahead in the count.
And I think Cam Lee showed with his speed how disruptive he can be on the base paths, because he kind of messed some folks up out there, and once he got the wheels rolling, he was hard to stop.
This one's in the air to right center field, slicing away from the center fielder. That's going to get to the gap and roll to the warning track where the center fielder bobbles it before throwing it in. A run will score as the throw comes in late. It gets away from the catcher. Coming down the line is Cam Lee, but the pitcher backing it up, and it's now 5-3 on the triple. That scores Marsh, an RBI for Lee.
Big time 2-out RBI triple again for Mac, and that extends the lead back to 2. That ball was just hit in the perfect spot, up over second base, out into the right center field gap, and it rolls all the way to the wall. Nice job by the center fielder Graham to get to it, but just not enough time to get it home and to catch the runner at the plate. And I think we're going to see a pitching change coming up here pretty soon, if not right now.
We are going to get that pitching change as another righty will come into the game, and that will end the day for Camden White. He works into the 6th, allows 5 runs, all earned. We'll take a break, come back with the new pitcher after this on KFMO.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
A new pitcher for Eastern Oklahoma State. Camden White works 5 2/3 innings. He allowed 6 hits in the game. A couple for extra bases. Responsible for that runner at third base, Cam Lee, but as of now has allowed 5 runs, all earned. He struck out 6, walked 4, didn't hit anybody. And so Tice Helms, with his first pitch in the new outing, is taken for a ball high. That new pitcher will face Brad Chasen, who tripled in a run back in the 5th.
That was a big, big hit, too. After that confusing play, he came back and got a big, big hit.
1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. Chasen officially 1 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Scored in the 1st and 5th innings. He grounded out to the pitcher in the 3rd. Count even here with 2 outs, so 1-1 count. Next one on the way. Outside, 2-1. That runner, Cam Lee at third base, he's getting down the line on the pitch with a big secondary, but is getting back in time. As Helms comes set, the 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1.
Well, that speed can cause all kinds of problems, as we know as Cardinal fans of the 80s and watching some of those guys run like crazy. Were you around in the 80s?
I was not.
I didn't think so.
98.
Take my word for it.
3-1, grounder foul, 3-2.
That was a strange time to be a Cardinal fan because there really wasn't anybody on that team other than Jack Clark and at times George Hendrick and maybe Keith Hernandez once in a while that would hit the ball out of the ballpark. Everything was a ground ball in the infield, beat it out, steal second, steal third, come home on a sacrifice fly. You're down 1-0 if you're the other team, and you don't even know what just happened to you.
2 outs, 3-2 count. The pitch, grounded, foul down the third base line again.
That was an odd bounce. It went straight down and hit that kind of artificial turf there in front of the plate and jumped way up in the air. It kind of looked almost at first that it might stay fair, but home plate umpire said, nope, foul territory. And we come back and do it again.
Right-handed batter, Brad Chasen, with a 3-2 count. The pitch. Takes one inside, fouled it off. We'll do it again.
He's hanging tight. He's trying to just put a little bat on the ball somehow, keep himself alive at the plate, see if he can get something good to hit.
8th pitch of the at-bat. Coming up as Helms sets at the belt. The 3-2 once more. Swing and a miss. Helms wins the battle. Mack strands an insurance run at third base. But they do get one courtesy of that Cam Lee RBI triple. We head to the 7th. 5-3 Mack. Glenn Berry has the 7th and 8th when we come.
Leading off for the Mountaineers, number 12, Jack Runzig.
Back at the top of the 7th. Mineral Area on top 5-3 from Hal Lowry Field in Park Hills. Game 1 of a possible 3 games. It's a best out of 3. First pitch by the new Mac pitcher, Max Hartman, is outside for a ball. Hartman will face the first batter up the middle. It's a base hit for this Eastern Oklahoma State Mountaineers ball club, and I'm looking down, and it looks like we had a pinch hitter there, and I did not catch him right off the bat. No, that was Runsick, and he got a base hit to lead off the inning. So after a 1-0 count, Runsick gets a base hit into center field. That'll be his first time on base today. And with a 2-run lead, Hartman has a runner over at first now to watch, as he'll take Luke Graham standing in from the right side. First pitch bunted almost in self-defense, as Graham had to get out of the way on a pitch that was coming inside, and he fouls it back to the backstop, 0-1.
Ooh, thunder in the area. Scattered thunderstorms are coming in, or perhaps that's just wind hitting our microphone on the outside of this press box, Glenn. But there are some thunderstorms working their way in the area.
Next pitch outside for a ball, 1-1. And I got to tell you, when you're looking at Hartman coming into this ball game, you know, with a 5-3 lead, it's been kind of a difficult time for Mac to score runs today, but even more difficult for this Eastern Oklahoma State team. You don't want to give them any free passes or give them any extra outs. Here's the next pitch. High for a ball. It's 2-1.
You got to work ahead in the counts, and that's something that the Mac pitchers, other than Cole Murray in that 6th inning, have struggled to do at times today, as we see Max Hartman deliver the next one.
2-1 pitch is popped up. I do not see it, but I see a center fielder running over to it. That's Cam Lee, and he'll make the catch and throw it back in. That ball got lost in the clouds pretty quick, and thankfully for Mineral Area, Cam Lee is playing the outfield and not myself, as that was a pop-up to center field for out number 1.
Yeah, I too lost that one off the bat, Glenn. And just like you read the outfielders, and sometimes that's what you have to do if you're in the dugout or on the base paths.
That'll bring up the next hitter for Eastern Oklahoma State. And that is Jackson Hyde Herrera, who takes a ball outside, 1-0.
He's had a rough day, been hit twice. Hopefully they got the ice ready after this one ends.
Also grounded out to third way back in the first inning. Runner on at first, 1 out. Next pitch coming home from Hartman to Hyde Herrera. And it's a swing and a miss. 1-1.
Hartman's got some pop behind that fastball, and Hyde Herrera just swung right through that one a little bit late.
Here comes the 1-1. Runner not going. It's on the outside corner for a strike, 1-2.
That one was a little bit off speed, so Hartman changing the eye level and changing speeds. Tough to read when you're in that right-handed batter's box, as Hyde Herrera is.
Next pitch on the way. Outside for a ball, 2-2. As Hartman tried to get it to break over the outside corner, but just missed. Mac a couple of runs in the first inning. Third inning, Eastern Oklahoma tied it up. Here's a line drive into center field. Cam Lee broke in, but then he slips a bit, makes up for it, and gets back. And now a long throw to first is a strong throw, but the runner gets back to the first base. Cam Lee, boy, he made a good play on that one, as that ball was hit hard, and he kind of lost his footing for a second, but got to it and made the out.
Perhaps a great adjustment out there, because I thought, too, he was breaking in, and that one, had he come in and not adjusted back out, that would have gone over his head and possibly scored that runner from first. Rusnick, though, made a good read to get back to first base pretty quickly, as Lee had a nice throw.
That'll bring you to the plate Kane Nolan. He had a big RBI, 2 RBI single back in the second, which tied this game up at 2. He takes a strike after the line out to center field with 2 outs. The runner still stands at first base. And a 1-0 count. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Rather 0-2, Glenn. My apologies.
I'm sure that
I had that wrong on the scoreboard.
Max Hartman will take that himself. 0-2 count now. Runner at first. Not going anywhere. Here comes the 0-2. Strike 3 called. And after a leadoff single, 1-2-3 goes Oklahoma State as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at Mac, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
Leading off for the Cardinals, number 2, Kelly Robertson Jr.
Back here as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Mineral Area on top, 5-3. They will send to the plate Kelly Robertson Jr., the left fielder, followed by Noah Casey, and Angelo Franco. Robertson Jr., big RBI single his last time up. Takes a pitch in the dirt for a ball. Robertson's been on base twice. He has scored 1 run, driven in another, stolen a base as well. Struck out his other time at bat. Here's a pitch fouled off, 1-1. Glenn Berry along with Jared Pettis out here on the Mineral Area College campus. It's not been a bad day so far as the weather goes. It's still overcast and cloudy, a little windy. Next pitch on the way, just off the outside corner, framed by Kane Nolan, but it's still called a ball, 2-1. I see that name, I want to call him Kanye.
You know, he did a good job of framing that one, although that was awfully outside to be framing.
Here's the next pitch. It's grounded back to the pitcher, fielded there by Helms. He'll throw to first. He throws a fastball over there to Rudy Venter and Ruben Venter, and it is out number 1. So he grounds out. Kelly Robertson, the junior, grounds out to the pitcher, 1-3.
I bring up Noah Cassie, Glenn, and yeah, you mentioned he threw a fastball over to first. He might have thrown that harder than he's thrown one to the plate. How quickly Kelly Robertson Jr. was making his way down the line. Helms had to hurry that one over.
Here's the first pitch off the outside corner, but framed up very well by Nolan, who spells his first name Kahne. It's pronounced Kane, but like I said, first time I saw it, I was like, is that Kanye? That would be a different thing to see. Next pitch he tries to frame, but it's low, 1-1.
Great take by Cassie as that one missed below the knees and evens the count.
Cassie lined out to center field, a hard hit ball, reached on an error. Next pitch on the way, fouled off. It's 2-1. And then he walked back in the 5th inning. We're in the 7th. It's 5-3 Mac. If they win this one, they need to win one more either tonight or tomorrow to advance. Here's the next pitch, the 1-2 on the way. Popped up into center field. Drifting back is Luke Graham. He is underneath it. He's got it, and that is out number 2. So a long fly ball to center field to Graham. Cassie is done for that at bat, and that'll bring up Angelo Franco. He had a big 2 RBI double in the first inning, put Mac on the board for the first time. He's also flown out to center field and popped up to the first baseman. Stands in from the right side. It's Helms. Rocks and brings it home. Line drive ground ball, 2 or short. Picked up there by Runzik. He'll throw it over to first. out 6-3, and that's a 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th for Mineral Area. We're headed to the top of the 8th. Mac still. Second pitch of the inning is grounded by Jackson Gregory over to short. Picked there by Tucker Thompson on to first base. And quickly, there's one down for the Eastern Oklahoma State Mountaineers as they trail this one 5-3 in the top half of the 8th inning. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch grounded to short. And actually, first pitch was a strike and then a ground out 6-3. And to the plate comes Ruben Ventur. Ruben struck out twice. He's been hit by a pitch. Back to the mound for Mac in this 8th inning is Max Hartman. Hartman throws a pitch off the outside corner for a ball, 1-0. Second pitch is on the way. It is strike call right at the letters, 1-1. Joel Bullier doing a great job back at the KFMO studios running this game. It's been kind of a hectic game for all of us here with a lot of different things going on inside the booth that you don't see. Here's a pop fly into right field. Moving in and then moving back on it is Noah Cassie, and he'll make the catch. And that is out number 2 on a fly ball to right field.
And that is, Glenn, the first fly ball out. Oh, no. I lied. Second fly ball out to right field. Jackson Archambault did that in the 6th. He's the only one, though, other than now Ruben Ventur. And now it's Joe Victory to bat.
Joe Victory has not had a victorious day. Here's a pitch right down the outside corner for strike 1. Struck out in the first inning, struck out in the 4th inning, hit by a pitch in the 6th, and let me double check that. It's been a better day for Victory than that because I read the wrong line. His second pitch is a strike, 0-2. He was walked in the first inning, hit by a pitch second time up, and reached on an error his third time up. And now he has an 0-2 count with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss, and that is a quick 1-2-3 inning for Max Hartman, and Mac is coming to bat. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's Mineral Area still on top.
Want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career? Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future. You can find a community. You can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
First pitch swinging, ground ball down the first baseline, fielded over there by Ruben Ventur. And the first casualty of the top or bottom half of the eighth inning is Carson McCaleb, who grounds out one unassisted. Carson had a single back in the fourth inning, but other than that, he has not had a productive day for Mineral Area, batting in the number 6 slot. Number 7 hitter is Matthew Marsh, that is, and the last time up, he drew a walk and eventually came around to score an important insurance run for Mac. Put him up 5-3. Before that, he grounded out to the pitcher and also was put out one unassisted as well. He takes a strike, didn't like the call, so he backs out of the batter's box a bit. Marsh waiting for the next pitch from Helms. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Helms has been in there a couple of innings now, and he's kind of settled things down, although he did give up that run when he first came in. After walking this very batter, Marsh, he gave up a triple to Cam Lee. Now a fouled pitch back to the backstop keeps it at 0-2. Marsh, a left-handed batter. Where's the number 27? Stands in from the left side, of course. Infield kind of swung around to the right a bit. A big hole up the middle. Here's a pop foul off the left side and out of play. Count stays at 0-2.
A good job by Marsh to stay in this at-bat behind 0-2, foul off a couple of pitches, see something that maybe you would not have seen had you been out on 3.
Marsh waiting for the 0-2 pitch again. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Marsh, after fouling off a couple of pitches, swings into the last one and misses, and home plate umpire is talking to him a bit, and I think he was asking where that pitch was when he swung and missed. But for some odd reason, the home plate umpire pulled his mask off and started having a discussion between him and the catcher. Maybe the catcher jumped in there a little bit. Marsh was looking for interference. I'm not sure. That'll bring up with 2 outs here Caden Merrill. Merrill's had a very unproductive day according to his standards. His first pitch is a ball. He struck out 3 times, twice swinging, once looking. Here comes the next pitch. He swings and fouls it back out of play. It's 1-1. He has not seen the ball real well here today from this number 8 spot. A couple of times he's come up with an opportunity to drive in a run and hasn't been able to do so. You'd like to, if you're Mac, to see him just get some good contact as he takes a ball outside, 2-1. To kind of get himself going again here. You can hear the wind picking up a little bit, blowing from right to left. The 2-1 on the way. It's lined into center field. That ball is hit deep. Backing up is Luke Graham, and Graham will get under it right at the wall and make the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 inning, but not until after Caden Merrill gave it.
If you want to earn a transfer degree or need training to jumpstart your career, Mineral Area College is the place for you. MAC offers affordable tuition, dedicated instructors, vibrant campus life, and flexible classes, on campus and online. When you're at MAC, you can find a future, you can find a community, you can even find yourself. Apply online at mineralarea.edu.
It is the ninth inning. The first pitch was fouled off at the plate by Kyler Spencer. It's an 0-1 count. It's 9-1-2 to up for Eastern Oklahoma State as we wrap up game one. The 0-1 pitch misses, and the count's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jared Pettis, Glenn Berry, Jewel Boyer back in studio. And if you're looking for our graphics on our social media accounts, well, I apologize. Graphics I made only go to 7 innings. They play 9 at the college level. The 1-1 is a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-2.
Got Oliver Martell into the ball game now for Mineral Area College, and you know that he wants to come in and throw strikes and not give up any free passes, not do anything different.
This one's lined up the middle into center field, and Kyler Spencer, after going 0 for 3, has his first hit in the ninth to set the table for the top of the order. It was Spencer, now Jackson Archambault, and after him, Jack Resnick.
Well, that ball was hit hard, and Martell looks at home and tells Carson McCaleb, my bad. He just felt like he got that ball too much of the plate, and Spencer got too much of it with his bat.
And so that brings the tying run to the plate. Archambault, who is 1 for 3 today. He takes ball 1 on the outside part.
Archambault hit by a pitch in the first inning, third inning a single and scored, grounded out to third base, and then flew out to left field.
The 1-0 pitch, fouled off out of play. And the count's even at a ball and a strike. And what now would be a perfect double play opportunity. Let's see if Oliver Martell can induce a ground ball. He's in to close this one out, looking for the save. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, now 1-2.
Little off-speed pitch there, and Archambault really didn't have a clue of where that one was headed, way out in front.
Nobody out, runner at first, the 1-2 pitch. Misses outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martell wanted that one, but that's been a ball all day from home plate umpire Kyle Marler. He does some games in the area.
You can see McCaleb tried to frame that one up just a bit, but Marler wasn't falling for that one.
The 2-2 pitch on its way. Ball 3, it missed low.
Some of the fans behind home plate giving him a little bit of heck over those calls, the last 2, but they've really been off the outside corner. Home plate umpire is not allowing those pitches to be called strikes here late in the game.
Payoff pitch, fouled off, out of play. Final line score for Max Hartman, who pitched the 7th and 8th innings for Mac. 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts.
Martell with a big smile on his face that time. I think he just reared back and threw that one and said, see what you can do there.
Pickoff move at first base. Spencer slides back head first safely. Still a 3-2 count to the top of the order. Jackson Archambault with nobody out and a runner at first. The pitch, swing and a miss. 1 away. That strikeout is the first for Martell, and that is the 10th combined strikeout from Mac pitching this game.
I think it's a big out right there, too, because you had Archambault, who can hit pretty well, and he's shown it today with getting some good contact on the ball, but that time he just fooled him, got it right by him.
And that brings up Jack Rusnick to the plate, who singled back in the 7th, but he swings through that pitch. 0-1. One out in the inning. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Bartell coming into this ball game, throwing strikes right off the bat, but he gave a little bit too fat of a pitch there to Spencer, who stands at first now.
1-1 off speed, finds the zone. 1-2.
How hard is it to come in to a ball game against a pitcher you've never seen before and try to figure out, what kind of pitches is he going to throw, knowing you got to get 2 runs or you're out of this game?
1-2, swing and a miss. Rusnick down on strikes, and Mack an out away from taking a 1-0 series lead with Game 2 coming up in just a little bit.
Well, the last hope for this Eastern Oklahoma State team is Luke Graham. He has not been on base today except for one time, and that's when he walked way back in the 3rd and scored one of the first runs of the game for this Mountaineer team.
First pitch, a strike at the knees to Graham.
Gotta love it when you got a pitcher coming in throwing strikes.
The 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Martell set. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. Mack a strike away. 1-2.
Be quite honest with you, I'm really surprised, especially with 2 outs or maybe even with 1 out, that Spencer hasn't tried to make a move over there at first base. Pretty tall guy, long stride, maybe could pick up an extra base.
The 1-2 is swung at and missed in the turf. The tag is applied, and Mineral Area is a win away from the JUCO World Series. Final score in Game 1, 5-3. We'll take a break, come back with their between game show, hopefully get a conversation with one of the coaches as we wrap up game number 1 and work our way towards game number 2, expected to start in about 45 minutes. So we will fill between and see if we can keep it here local while we work between games, see if we can